Hi mga ka-numbers! How are you all? Welcome back to Wang RB channel. Let's have another day of learning. Today, let's learn about modals or modal verbs. Modals are irregular verbs, and they are usually called modal verbs, modal auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliaries, or helping verbs. They usually followed by a main verb. Example, I can speak a little Spanish. So can is a modal and speak is the main verb. They do not change form. It's usually in the base form. And they do not have infinitive like the word to and then the verb. So usually it doesn't have the infinitive to. So to learn more about this, let's go along. So when do we use modals? We usually use them to show ability, to show possibility, as well as advice, permission, request, obligation, suggestion, and intention. And here are some examples. So to show ability, we can use can and could. For possibility, we can use can, could, may, might, would. Advice, you could use should and ought to. Permission, you can use can and may. For request, you can use can, could, may, might, will, and would. For obligation, you can use shall, should, must, ought to. For suggestion, you could use could, might, shall, and should. And for intention, we can use will or shall. So let's learn more on how to use them in sentences as we go along. So here's how we use can and could. Can. It is a modal verb which is used with a main verb to express the ability of a person or thing in doing something. And could is the past participle or second form of the verb which is used with the main verb to talk about a past, the ability of an individual in doing something. Here's how we use can and could in a sentence. Both words are used to show ability. However, can is used in the present and could is used in the past. Example, Jessica can speak English. That is how we use that in the present. And could, we can say she could speak French when she was younger. So that is in the past. Next thing, permission. Can is used informally and could is used in a more polite way. An example is, can I borrow your car please? So that's how we use can. And could, we can say, could I use your car please? So that's more polite. Next thing, request. Can you help me please? So that's how we ask somebody permission or we request something. And in a more polite way, we can use could. Could you pass me the salt please? So that's more polite. Next is possibility. We can say it can get very cold tonight. So there's a possibility that the weather will change. So we use can. On the other side, we use could. What? You could have broken your arm. So that is in the past. So that's how we use it. Next, offer to help someone. We use can to show this. Can I carry your bag for you? So that is offering a help to somebody. To use could, we use it as a suggestion. We can say we could go back to the park if you like. So that is a suggestion. So we use the word could or the modal could. Last one, cannot or can't, which means not allowed. We can say you cannot go to the party. Could is a conditional of can. So we can say if we had some apples, I could make you a pie. That's how we use could as a conditional of can. There's a condition. So that's it. Hope you have understood everything. Next thing is the use of may. So it's usually used to ask permission or to show possibility. So we can say, may I have a photo with you? So you are asking permission. And we can also say they may agree or not. So there's a possibility that it will happen and it will not happen. So that's how we use may. The fourth and fifth modals are must and have to. So usually these two are used to show obligation. Must. Here is an example on how we use it in the sentence. I must study tonight to prepare for our test tomorrow. Have to, we can say, you have to take off your shoes before you get into the house. So both are obligation that you need to do. So that's how it is. Let's now move on to the use of should and ought to. They usually show advice or suggestion. We can have these examples. It's too cold outside. You should wear a jacket. Notice that should can be replaced by ought to without a change in meaning. So we could also say, it's too cold outside. You ought to wear a jacket. And another example is that you should study more or you ought to study more. Are you getting it? I hope so. Number 8 is the use of might. So this shows possibility or probability. So here is an example. It might rain tonight. And another example, we could say, the purse looks nice, but it might be very expensive. So that's how you use might. Easy, right? So let's now move on to the use of shall. So shall is being used to suggest, to instruct, and to confirm. Here are some examples. Shall I order pizza for dinner? So this is a suggestion. We can also say, what shall we do when your visitors arrive? This is an instruction. And I shall meet you all at 7 a.m. tomorrow. This is a confirmation. So here's some notes. Originally, shall was used instead of will in the first person I and we, and when talking about the future. Shall can also be used to can also be replaced by should, can, could, or will. So we can always use shall or should, can, and could or will in replacement for such a sentence. So that's it. Let's go to the next. Here are the last two modal verbs that we are discussing, the uses of will and would. Will and would are both used to ask or to request. However, will is used informally and would is used in a more polite way. Here's an example. Will you help me? And for would, we can say, would you help me? So that's it. Next thing, refusal. Will is used in the present and future, and would is used in the past. We can say, he won't help me. On the other side, we can say, he wouldn't help me. So that's it. Another way is offer. In the present and future, we can use will. And in the past, we can use would. Example, I'll help you. That is in the future. And for the past, we can say, I would have helped you. Conditional. We can say, if he asks me, I'll help him. So there's a condition. And you can also say, if I had a boat, I would sail around the world. So there's a condition. That's why it had not happened yet. But it should have happened if the condition was met. So that's it. And last thing is future. We can say he will tutor me next month. So it shows a future time. It will still happen in the next month. So for would, we can say future in the past. He promised he would tutor me. So it was in the future, however, it did not happen. It was at past. So he promised before, but it did not happen. So that's how we use will and would. I hope you learned a lot. Let's summarize what we have learned today about modal verbs. Modal verbs are used to show possibility, permission, request, ability, advice, suggestion, intention, and obligation. For possibility, you can use can, could, may, might, and would. For permission and request, we can use can, could, may, might, will, and would. Ability, we can use can and could. And for advice, suggestion, should, ought to, could, might, shall are being used. And last thing, for intention, we can use will, shall, should, ought to, must, have to. And this also shows obligation. So I hope that you will remember all these things, and whenever you need to, you can get back to it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wang RV channel. And if you would like notifications and updates of all my videos, please click subscribe and the all notifications bell. You can also follow me at my Facebook fan page, Teacher Wang RV. Thank you and God bless.